Alright, hello YouTube. It is May 19th, 2009, and I'm here with a DVD update. Alright, first off is two semi-guilty pleasure movies, and we're just going to roll through them and get them done. I'm not going to talk about them. Starship Troopers 2, Starship Troopers 3. Those go over there. Now to get on some good. Now this is I had to make this cover from an old VHS convert, which is the 22-year reunion of Dawn of the Dead. It's about 2 hours of like this footage that was done at Cinema Wasteland, I believe, in 2000 or 2002, and it has most of pretty much everybody from the original cast, including some of the zombies and producers and blah blah blah. It's a lot of Q&A, a lot of like rare video clips, stuff like that. It's like VHS quality because it was all like, it was like a compilation of a bunch of people like doing footage, kind of like YouTube-y type footage. I'll put it all together, and it's really interesting, especially if you're a Dawn of the Dead hardcore fan. I did mention something about this before, I think in one of my first or second videos, but I figured I would say something about it again since I you know, got more information about it, actually watched most of it, and you know, did the cover. Next is a series which is Monkey or Monkey Magic Season 2. I finished watching this like a month and a half ago, and I just finished putting it on the DVDs and getting the case halfway decent and all that. Not a fan of Series 2. I mean, it was like a lot. It wasn't as fun and goofy as Season 1, and they changed up the original Monkey Magic, theme song. It just wasn't good. It just wasn't good at all. And you know, with this one, it just ends. Like, it kind of has a semi-ending, but you never get the full story of the Monkey King in here. I mean, you'd actually have to like look it up to see how everything ends. But I guess maybe that's a teaser. Maybe it's like, you know, if you want to know more, go learn about Buddhism. Maybe. No. Alright, next is a work print for everyone. Let's say pretty much everyone's second to least favorite in the Halloween series. Halloween H20. Now, from what I have back here, the work print has a different score, alternate opening credit montage, as well as slightly different versions of the dorm room scene, where they have So I Married an Axe Murder playing on TV instead of Scream 2. Also, there are other scenes that are made it into the finished film that, you know, everyone loves. Workprint version. I saw it on a spool of other Halloween things, and I figured, yeah, why not? You know, I don't really like Halloween H2O, but I figured you don't have the workprint for collector's value. You know, not every day you get that. Another one which everybody loves, and I've talked about the trailer for part 2, is the unrated director's version of Halloween. I have somewhere the other version of Rob Zombie's doing the thing of this, where, you know, he like puts the knife down and shit, and he's like all pussified. But this, I mean, it's a great movie. I think it's a great movie. You know, Halloween, the original, is good, and Halloween, that one, Rob Zombie's one, is still good. Now, this is the alternate version of the one that was after H2O, which was Halloween Resurrection, which had a lot of webcam-y type shit in it. This one actually has a different title. It's not called Halloween Homecoming or Halloween Resurrection. It's called Halloween The Homecoming, which it has a really, I think this is the one with the really good opening scene where it's like almost 30 minutes. You know, the opening scene with Laurie Strode and she's in the insane asylum. And there's a lot more footage of that. It makes it a lot more interesting. I mean, that's the best part of this. After that, it's just, you know, fucking Busta Rhymes going, you know, trick or treat, motherfucker, you know, shit like that. I mean, I would get this just for the 20 minutes beginning with Jamie Lee Curtis, or 30 minutes, or somewhere around there. Like, you know, just her, like, battling Michael Myers and all this, you know, footage of, like, why Michael Myers didn't die and Halloween H20, and it goes a little more in depth into that. Another one is, oh, this is a good one. This is a real good one. You want to see a good 80s movie. I forget what it is, 1987, if I'm not mistaken. I didn't put a thing on here, but I'm pretty sure it's 1987. I could be very wrong. It's in the late 80s. It's called Deathrow GameShow, which is, it's like a funnier version, a lot more campier version of, like, kind of like Running Man meets The Price is Right. And these guys are, like, hooked up to these devices, and they're like death row inmates, so they're gonna die anyway. And they, you know, fight for their lives. You know, like some guys like has like guillotine on them, and they're like, "So, what is this sound?" And you'd be like, "Oh, that's a zebra." You're like, "No, wrong, bitch!" And like, yeah, gets head cut off. So yeah, really interesting movie. You can find this. I think it's a Paramount movie. Another Paramount. You know, I love those Paramounts. It's really good. It's probably just on DVD through them, but I've seen it on VHS on a couple other places. Alright, and my last one is a confusing movie, and I actually have two versions of this. Southland Tales. Now, I avoided this movie like the plague for many years, and I was like, this movie's stupid, it has probably The Rock in it, and like, you know, he can't act his way out of a paper bag. You know, Sean William Scott, he has Stifler in here, and you have Buffy, and I'm like, oh, the guy from NSYNC, it can't be good. Blew my fucking mind. A lot of shit from, if you know, like, a lot of the Bible, there's a lot of Revelation kind of jargon in here. Really good. If you can find it, I would recommend the Cans version of Southland Tales. It's a little longer and it does a little more in depth on the you know, the story and whatnot. I'll read the back to you, but even then, like, I mean, there's so much more to this movie. Southland Tales. A futuristic Los Angeles on the brink of social and economic disaster. Boxer Centauro, which is The Rock, is an action star who is stricken with amnesia. His life intertwines with a porn star named Krista Now, which is Sarah Michelle Gellar, trying to develop her own TV show project. And Ronald Tavner, which is Sean William Scott, is a police officer who holds the key to this vast conspiracy. That's a terrible synopsis for this movie. It's just fucking awesome. And plus you see Kevin Smith in there, and like tons, at least 6 or so old SNL stars being like great dramatic actors, like Sherry O'Terry and John Lovitz with white hair being a badass going, "You get the fuck out of here." And like just like a cop and all that shit. He has like white hair. He doesn't take shit from anybody. Awesome. You also have Dan Fielding from Night Court in there. I don't know his real name. Dan Fielding from Night Court. I recommend Southland Tales. I definitely recommend Deathrow GameShow. Always Halloween. Never Monkey Magic 2. And if you could see these work prints, I recommend them. And if you could find the Zombie Reunion, if you're a fan, that bad. find that one. Okay, folks, over 10 minutes now. I think next week I'll have a series or two for you to peruse, and maybe some VHS rips. Alright, bye.